disconnected my other live stream. So if you can see me on my other platforms, I'm doing a Q&A for the next 15-20 minutes. Ask me player development questions. And for the people that don't know me, I am an international coach. And I've worked in countries such as America, Italy, China, Vietnam, Sweden, and many, many more. Basketball has taken me all around the world, and I have 19 years of experience, including a sports coaching degree. This is why I use research practices. I've got my own system called the Game Transfer Training System that I use, and it's a system that's been able to help thousands of players over the years with limited time and resources. Sometimes in just 1 hour a week, I've been able to develop players from grassroots to playing semi-pro and professional basketball at the moment. I have clients who play in the pro leagues abroad and clients who play local league to national league. It ranges. So I do all levels and all abilities, because as a coach, you have to be adaptable. And if you aren't adaptable, then you aren't a very good coach. Okay, so I'm just going to see what my Instagram is. Okay, so see if I can get anybody. Okay, turn my mic and my camera on. So for the past couple of days, I've been working with multiple players on their skill development, and I've worked with one person. Okay, one viewer. So I've worked with one person, and we did some skills, decision, and fitness testing. That's how I like to start off my programs, because I believe that part's essential. So get your questions in now. I'll be here for the next 15 minutes. Yeah, so I've just got your comment. Thank you for that comment. I do offer one-to-one training. I have a program called the Becoming Elite program, and it's a 12-month program whereby I offer the skills training for just 1 hour a week. And in that 1 hour a week, I use the game transfer training system that I've created. I also give you guys access to the free WAP as well, where you'll get player development support. And before I build the program, I watch your game tape, if you can send me that, and I build the program based upon what I see your weaknesses are in the game tape and the strength. The reason why I do it that way and I don't offer one-off sessions is because I want to work with serious players who want to see long-term results. And I found that if players have one-off sessions or they just have 4 sessions, they get a little bit better. But the reality is they don't see the long-term results that are lasting results. And sometimes they can be a bit flaky as well. So it's a better way for me to hold players accountable and making that big commitment to their development. I've ran this program so far with over 100 people, and I've seen some really, really phenomenal results. Probably the most proud results I've seen is when I worked with a pro player last season, and he was scoring 16 points a game in the Pro League in France, grabbing 10 rebounds. And we worked in the summer. We did one session a week. I watched his game tape and I built activities based upon that. And he worked super, super hard when he come back. And he went to Greece and he basically was scoring like 24 points a game and grabbing like 12 rebounds. And he actually became the third leading scorer in his league. So that's probably the most phenomenal results I got because he was probably one of the hardest workers who joined the program. Okay, so I'll cover that question then, Tanya. Thanks for that. So, with when you train in a club, sometimes it's really, really difficult because you have a large group of people, and from a coach's point of view, they have to work on like the general qualities that fit in their offense and defense. They also have limited time, so you tend to do a lot of team skill, what I call team skill stuff. And some of it, well, most of it will get you better, but it doesn't actually work on you as an individual. And the thing is, with that, you need customized activities to fit your skill set and to fit your weaknesses. Because when you have little kind of refinements you need to make, what the coach is running needs to suit to you. And you don't get the opportunity to do that when you're in team training because, like I say, you get limited time and it's group activities. I know because I run a college program myself, but we're lucky enough to be able to get skill development in the morning. This is one of the reasons why I actually set up the Becoming Elite program because I found players in clubs aren't getting enough individual skills development to work on what they actually need. And sometimes what coaches will do, even though they do skills development, is they'll work on general qualities. And what I mean by that is they'll just throw in the ball handling, the dribbling, and the shooting. They are elements all players need to work on. But the reality is, you've got to think about to what level and what activity suits your actual weaknesses. This is why I pride myself in watching players' game tape before. And if you don't have that game tape, then you can even just record yourself in a scrimmage or recording yourself doing a workout. And that's something I can get data from because I'm very data driven when I make my decisions when I build a program. So that's what I do. So if you are interested, what I'd recommend, Tanya, is I'd recommend you to join my free WAP and then get in there and I can give you outside player support in there because I have a chat inside the group whereby you can post any questions like that. And I post mindset tips. So I have Motivation Monday and skill development activities weekly where you can do these skill development challenges and post yourself doing them. And I select one player every week to break their game tape down. So if you guys are looking for free support, then I'll drop the link below. Give me a sec. I'll just grab the link. And it's a platform, like I say, I've just set up. And I've just been refining it really to what players actually need, because I set it up a couple of months ago and I found that it wasn't getting used much for the players that were in there. And it's sad because I put over 50 hours into creating this, probably more. So what I want is I want people to be active in there, and I want people to use it and give me feedback, because the group's here for you, and I'll refine it to what you want to see. And the reality is, if you're just joining the group and not staying active, then you're not really going to get nothing out of it, because you need to implement the stuff and you need to be on there and getting the constant feedback. And that's the beauty of having a coach in your pocket. And that's exactly what I'll be. I'll be there to support you, and so you can develop your game. Okay, let me just grab this link. Okay, check out links. This is really annoying on the WAP. The WAP won't, the live stream won't move out the way, so it won't let me click the link. How annoying. Let me try it this way. Copy. Okay, so I am dropping a link, so bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. Well, the link's definitely not 00. Okay, I got it. Copy. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the chat now. I don't know if it'll let you click it, but hopefully you'll be able to copy and paste it. Okay, so just drop the link in the chat for you guys who want to join. I don't know if it's clickable, but I hope it is. Yeah, so I do in-person one-on-ones, as well as the online stuff, because what I want to do this year is I want to impact more players. So I do in-person stuff. But what you're best off doing is drop me a DM and I'll reach out to you with the information. We can take it from there. I'll tell you about the program, what it entails, and if it's suitable. Because the one thing I do is I don't accept everyone in my program. The reason why I do that is because I only want to work with the players who are hungry for the development, because it's better for me, my skills training business, to get testimonials from players who are hungry. And I don't really want kind of flaky people who do it half-hearted. And I'll be honest with you, I've worked with people like that over the years, and they just play basketball for fun, and that's great. I know basketball is fun to play, but I want to work with people who want to improve also and want to be the best they can be and elevate themselves. Yeah, just send me a DM, and after this, I'll send it you directly. No problem. What team do you play for, if you don't mind me asking? Hey, Ernie, I see you. So, just a big shout out to Ernie. He's one of the guys who's most active in the WAP, and he won a 12-week program, an off-season program from me, for providing me with feedback. So, thank you for that, Ernie. And he's a hard worker, so I got a lot of love for Ernie. Okay, you play for Slam. Yeah, you play for Dwayne. I know Dwayne very well. I used to go to him as a player many years ago, because I'm actually from Stoke-on-Trent, and that's where I coach. So yeah, I know Dwayne very well. I know Mark as well. Do you play for Mark? Guys, please ask your questions because I am going to hop off in the next 10 minutes. It's getting pretty late now, and I've got some coaching to do in the morning. I need to go to the gym as well. So please do ask your questions in here. Ask as many as you can because I'm hopping off in 10 minutes. And like I say, I'll answer any of your questions that you have. Just looking if there's anybody in the YouTube. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look. Is anybody on the YouTube? How do I full screen this? Okay, I'm just going to have a look on the YouTube chat as well because I'm streaming on YouTube and see if there's anyone that needs support there as well. Let's have a look. Okay, so I've had a look on the YouTube. Oh, that's wicked. Yeah, I know Mark very well. His son Justin actually comes to my clinics because I run clinics in Stoke-on-Trent. I'm actually planning on running a basketball camp with one of the pros I train, which is going to be next month. So if you're following me, then keep an eye on my page because I'm going to put out the marketing for it. And it's going to be a really good camp. It's going to be like a skills development slash performance camp. And we're going to do a Q&A with the player. And he's going to tell you about his experience in earning a scholarship in America and playing 3 years pro in different countries so far. So it should be a really, really good camp. I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to launch it around about the end of May or something like that. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I am going to launch this 2-day pro camp, pro experience. So I accept anybody. I don't really discriminate. I mean, I mostly have boys to train against, but if you don't mind training with boys, then it's all good. But there are girls that come time to time. I'd actually like more girls to come to my camp because I actually started off as a women's coach, and believe it or not, I do prefer coaching women. I find that they're a little bit more technical and they ask a bit more questions. So it challenges me as a coach to be better and sort of think on my feet more. And yeah, and I really like coaching girls to be honest with you. So yeah, I wish more girls would turn up to my clinics and my camps. Ernie is your team funder. That's a really broad question, Ernie, but I'm going to answer it. So, what I would do is I would try and video yourself playing the game, or try and get somebody video you playing that game. And sometimes Clippers, yeah. Sometimes you only get very limited shots in a 5v5, because the reality is, let's face it, most offenses last around about 5 to 6 seconds in the modern game. So when you're kind of only getting like one touch of the ball maybe in 5 possessions, it's sometimes hard. And also when you get limited minutes as well, it's sometimes hard as well. So the easiest way to score points, I would say, is in transition. I mean, especially if you're a smaller guard like yourself, you want to kind of live and die by the transition buckets. And the easiest way to do that is whenever you're playing defense, if you've got big men on your team or more athletic players, let them do the rebounding and be the first one out there on the outlet as soon as you see somebody catch the ball. All you got to do, seek a sideline, sprint as fast as you can, and call the outlet and make sure you're at free throw extended or a little bit further in a position where they can actually pass you the ball safely. And I would just say work on your speed dribbling, because a lot of people work on layup finishes in a half court, but when it gets to speed dribbling and doing bust out dribbles in the full court, it's a whole different type of layup and different finish. So I'd say work on that with your right hand and your left hand, and just make sure you're always in the positions to receive the ball on the outlet and you're vocal about it, because if you ain't talking in transition, then they're not going to hear you. It's as simple as that. So you need to be really loud and use that leadership voice. I would say within the 20 minutes that you're saying you get, I would say you're probably able to score 8 to 10 points within that 20 minutes if your team does a good job of defensive rebounding. Because if you're the first one on the outlet and you're wide open, you're getting the ball and you can run up and dribble. And even when somebody else dribbles, be the first guy ahead of the pack to run ahead of the player with the ball. And then when you're in a position and you're nice and wide, they can pass you the ball and you can go for a layup. So probably the easiest way really to score points. Um, a good question, Jacob. So what I would say to you is, because you're a little bit of a taller guard for your age, it's a good thing for you to think about, and it's really good you brought that up. So one thing I would say is learn how to use a Barkley dribble. And a Barkley dribble is where you put a player on your back and you seal them off with your bar arm in the chest, and you make sure you make light contact with their chest, you're sealing them, and then when you meet the pass on the catch, you want to try and back them down. But if it comes to the point where they're stronger than you, then you want to kind of rotate your torso the other way, so you're using the other bar arm, and that's for you to attack space. And that's what you want to think in your head. I'm backing down, but if somebody blocks me off because they're too stronger than me, then I'm going to twist my torso and steal with the other arm to try and gain space over them. And ultimately, that's what it's about. It's about you gaining space with somebody else, because if you can't battle with somebody in the post strength wise, then you've got to beat them with your footwork. And that's how a lot of athletic players beat people who are way stronger than them. they just use footwork and they just use their agility. So I would say that's a good thing to do, but if you haven't got a mismatch, then I wouldn't think about posting up really. So there's 2 mismatches I teach. I teach the mouse mismatch, where you have a mouse which is somebody smaller than you in the post, and that's when you should look to seal them and go one-on-one with them. And the other mismatch I teach is when you have a strength advantage over somebody. I call it a Hercules. So that's when you've kind of got like a big man, but they're not very strong, and you can kind of like push them out the way, really. So yeah, definitely use them things. And I'd say the Barkley dribble is probably the most effective one-on-one dynamic play that you can do to extend the advantage in the post. The other thing I'd work on as well is just generally like one move, like a drop step and a counter. You don't need crazy advanced moves in the post. People think you do, but you don't. If you just master that one drop step, and then if somebody cuts you off or some help comes over and you master a counter, let's say, for example, you do a drop step, stop on that one foot you plant, and then you turn around, do a shot fake, the player reaches and you do a step through, and that's your counter done. And it's even you can even just catch the ball and use a ball fake, just like you're throwing it to somebody, or you can even kind of extend your hand like some of the big post players do and see if they bite on it. I would always try and throw a fake first in the post, unless you've got a direct driving line to score on, unless you've got the space to do it. Did that make sense to you, Jacob? Yeah, we'll do some Barkley dribbles anyway. Don't worry about it. We're starting some off-season training on Saturday. Okay, so I'm literally hopping off in about 4 minutes. So if you have any burning questions, please ask them now. Like I say, I'm answering all player development questions, and then I'm going to hop off. And if you do want free player development support from an international coach, then I've got a free WAP that you can join. So let me know. Send me a DM on whatever platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, just send me a message, comment on the live. If you're on Instagram, just DM me that you want access to the free WAP that I've got where I have a player support in there. Um, or if you're looking in the WAP, then send me a message on the WAP. Okay, guys. So if there's no more questions, then I'm going to hop off and probably go to bed. So thanks for joining this live. Like I say, I will drop a link to my free WAP where I offer free player development support and weekly tips and skills challenges in there. I will be running these probably once a week. So if you guys want to kind of join, then make sure you tap your notifications and put your notifications on so it notifies you straight away when I go live or when I'm running something. The last thing is I will be running a player development camp with a pro player next month in Stoke-on-Trent. So if you are interested in that, then DM me the words elite now and I'll send you details and like I say, switch the notifications on. So when I post the details, you'll get notified straight away. Thanks for joining in, guys. I hope you got a lot of value from that. Um, I'll see you whenever. Keep working hard.